guys, it's Miss Simpson and it's time for reading today. And we're still working with nonfiction or informational text. So I just want to remind you, do you remember when we did a lesson on fiction summarizing? I hope you do. And we talked about somebody wanted, but, so, and then. And we summarized different chapters of Frindle. Remember when we read Frindle? I hope that you do. So I taught you summarizing with fiction, but guess what I haven't taught you yet? Summarizing with nonfiction. And I'm going to be very honest with you. This one's a little harder just because nonfiction typically gives you, or informational, gives you a lot of facts. So finding one summary that makes sure you're paraphrasing, which we'll talk about, you're paraphrasing, but also including all the information that's important is kind of hard. So with fiction, we just include the major events. Somebody wanted, but, so, then. That tells us the main things. But nonfiction, we've got to decide what is important. What do I need to include? And so I'm going to show you how to do that today. So again, I use my hand just to memorize the different parts of a summary I need to include for nonfiction. So nonfiction, when I summarize nonfiction, I'm going to retell the main idea in a text in a shorter version, but in order. So if I hold up my hand, I think my thumb is the who or the what. So who or what is the topic? So I have a ton of nonfiction books here, informational books here, and I just want to show you a few. You can figure out what the topic is literally by the very first cover. This is the one we're going to mainly focus on and use today. But this one, obviously, the main thing we're going to look at is clouds. There's one that's fog and sunshine and ice and rain, snow, wind, lightning. All of the titles tell you what your topic is or what it's about. This one's about rockets, right? This one looks like it's about a moon landing. This one looks like it's about astronauts. So guess what? You can tell the topic, the thumb part, just by that very first page. It doesn't take that long. Then, where or when does it take place? Some books have this part. Some books don't have this part. So you've just got to figure that part out as you're reading. Then you're going to tell me the main idea from the beginning, the main idea from the middle, and the main idea from the end. And the whole time you're doing a nonfiction summary, you're doing what we call, and you'll hear this word all the time, I promise, it's called paraphrasing. Raise your hand if you've ever heard the word paraphrasing. Paraphrasing is when you write like the summary in your own words. So let's say I read this book and you asked me, oh, Miss Simpson, I was thinking about reading that book. Can you tell me a little bit what it's about? I would tell you a summary in my own words. And that would mean I was paraphrasing the text. So that's what that word means. So again, when we summarize fiction or nonfiction, we paraphrase. We don't say everything in the book. Because if I said everything that was in the book, guess what I would be doing? I would be reading the book, right? So I've just paraphrase it. Or if you were to tell me a story about your life, something that happened in your life, when you learned how to ride a bike, for instance. If I go and tell somebody else that story and I said, oh my gosh, one of my students learned how to ride a bike. They were blah, blah, blah years old and told them that story. I would be paraphrasing because I don't know exactly what you said. So I would be paraphrasing when I tell them. So today we are going to practice by reading a book, Clouds. We're going to read a book, and then we're going to write a summary over that book. So let's go ahead and let's get started. So this book is called Clouds by Gail Saunders Smith. So we know that this, first off, is informational because it has the text features that typically go with informational books. Otherwise, I might not be able to tell it's informational, right? This one doesn't look like a typical informational book. But I see the table of contents. Also, I have a glossary back here. This is just some more information. So this is definitely a informational book. So let's get started. Okay. Clouds form when warm air rises and cools. Clouds are made of very small water drops. The drops stick to dust in the air. Clouds bring rain and snow. Rain falls when the air is above the freezing temperature. Snow falls when the air is below the freezing temperature. Clouds come in many shapes. Meteorologists study cloud shapes. A meteorologist is a person who studies the weather. The shapes of the clouds tell meteorologists what kind of weather is coming. Cirrus clouds form high in the sky. They are very thin. People can see through cirrus clouds. Cirrus clouds mean that it will rain or snow within 24 hours. Cumulus clouds have flat bottoms and puffy tops. Small white cumulus clouds mean good weather. Big dark cumulus clouds bring thunder and heavy rain. Stratus clouds are gray and flat. They cover most of the sky. They form low in the sky. Light snow or drizzle sometimes falls from stratus clouds. Drizzle is a light rain. Nimbostratus clouds are like stratus clouds. They are flat and cover most of the sky, but they are dark gray. They form higher in the sky. Nimbostratus clouds bring rain or snow. Fog is a cloud too. Fog happens when a cloud forms close to the ground. Fog goes away when the water drops dry up. Wind and heat can make fog dry up. Clouds carry rain and snow. Wind pushes clouds across the sky. Clouds carry water to places all over the world. And that's the end. Okay, so when I'm doing a nonfiction summary, I'm first going to think about the who or the where. And I'm going to combine those two kind of into one sentence because I think that's going to be what is best for this summary. So I'm going to think the who or the what. That's clouds. Well, that doesn't make a sentence. So where or when does it take place? So my who or what is clouds. And I'm going to say when it takes place. So clouds are the big white puffs in the sky. So now when somebody reads that first sentence, they know, okay, this is a summary over clouds, and it tells us where or when. So where are they? They're in the sky. So now I need to put a main idea from the beginning, a main idea from the middle, and a main idea from the end. So in the beginning, it tells us how clouds form, how they're made, what they bring in, and how they come in different shapes. Now, I'm going to stop there because I think this is about the middle. So the first few pages talk about so many things. So you know what I'm going to say? I'm just going to say clouds come in many different shapes and sizes and bring rain and snow. Now, I don't really need to know that the drops stick to the dust in the air. They're made of small water droplets. I don't need to know all of those facts. I kind of just need to know, I need to paraphrase. I need to know the gist. So I said they bring in rain and snow. Do I need to know the specific information about rain and snow? Not really. But now, many different shapes. I don't really need to know about meteorologists. That's a fact in the book, yes, but I don't need it in my summary. But now in the middle, so when I'm talking about the main idea of the middle, I start seeing the different types of clouds. So there's all cirrus, cumulus, stratus, nimbostratus, fog. And so that kind of tells me my whole middle part of this book. Look how many pages talk about the different types of clouds. So I'm going to make one sentence of the middle. And if I can summarize the whole middle of this book in one sentence, I would probably say the different types of clouds are the cirrus. I didn't say the cirrus, I just said cirrus. Cumulus, Stratus, and I'm looking in the book to figure out the names. Nimbostratus, spelled that wrong. Nimbostratus, and fog. And so that brings me to the very last page, the very end. And so I need about one sentence, according to the anchor chart Miss Simpson's telling me to use. I need one sentence for the end of the text. So clouds carry rain and snow. Wind pushes clouds across the sky. Clouds carry water to places all over the world. And so I'm going to say clouds, or I'm going to say they. They are carried. Oh, you know what? They carry water all over the world. And that's kind of that last sentence, but I think that's really the most important part of the page, is that they're filled with water and they carry it all over the world. So let's read our summary and see if we like it. So I'm going to go through, and as I go through, I'm going to underline based off of this nonfiction summary. So if I'm going to underline, let me get my colors out. So let's see. The who or the what. Did I cover the who or the what? In the first sentence, clouds are the big white puffs in the sky. So clouds, that's my who or the what. And now in that same first sentence, you should also have your where and when. So where or when. This one didn't have a when, but it did have that they're in the sky, right? Okay, so now we need to see from the main idea from the beginning. Clouds come in many different shapes and sizes and bring rain and snow. That looks good, and it seems like that's the very beginning part. Now I'm going to move on to the middle. The different types of clouds are cirrus, cumulus, stratus, nimbostratus, and fog. That is definitely from the middle. And finally, we have a purple again, and they carry water all over the world. And that would be our very last sentence, which is the main idea from the end. And to be honest, that sounds pretty good to me. This was a very short book, so I only had 4 sentences here. If you need more with the book that you used today, that's fine. But about 4 to 5 sentences is about where your summary should be for this assignment. Okay, guys. So today for your assignment, you are going to pick a book from the Epic collection I sent you. Now, Epic has not been working. Not recently. People have not been getting the collections I send them. So I am going to send you an Epic collection. If you do not get that Epic collection, then I'm going to tell you right down below what book to search in the search bar. Because, again, summarizing a nonfiction book that is extremely long is not what I want you to do today. I want you to read and summarize a book that's shorter and is nonfiction. So either if you don't have the Epic collection in your Epic mailbox, if you don't have that, look down below for the title of the book that I want you to use. And you can do either of those. You can have a choice and go on Epic collection, or you can use the one that I tell you to use right down below. You are going to use this strategy I just taught you to summarize the book. So just like I did, read through the book, go back through it and use the hand and summarize it just like I did. I will put that anchor chart right down below, and you can use my summary to kind of help you out and figure out what you're going to do and how you're going to summarize it. When you're done with your summary, take a picture and turn it in. All right, guys, I love y'all so much. Have a great day.